I'm live here at Brookside Gardens, Montgomery County, Maryland, here in Wheaton. Good deal north of DC, probably more of on the zone 7A side, because DC sort of straddles that 7A, 7B. But a great place, and even though it's probably a bit colder than DC, still some great exotic plants here and some beautiful, beautiful needle palms. I got 6 of them planted out, which is really great to see because a lot of the local botanic gardens plant needle palms. Probably at least 4 or 5 of the local botanic gardens have them, which is awesome, and including some have trachys and sable minor, of course, and some other palms. But the cool thing, is usually you'll see 1 or 2 needle palms. They are breeding as 4 of them, but here they have 6, which is pretty awesome. So you gotta love that. Hey, Virginia fruit grower, great to see you in here. How's the weather down there in the southeastern Virginia? I've always followed the Virginia Beach weather very, very closely. Just as I follow the weather in about like 6 different cities in the U.S. very closely, just because I have like random cities that I like to check the weather on, like Albuquerque, Los Angeles, and Virginia Beach is one of them. Because obviously, I love Virginia Beach. And obviously it's such a mild place weather-wise, so I checked the weather down there, and I know you guys have been getting some nice weather down there. Looks like it's going to get a little colder, as it's going to get a little colder here too. But right now it's 49 and rainy, 49, 50, so nothing terrible, but it does kind of feel cold, much colder than 49 and sunny. But nothing too bad. So just wanted to come out here and do a live stream here because it's a great place. It's beautiful gardens, and look at this. This is so funny. This is like this eastern hemlock is like a weeping shrub. It's so rare to see it like this. Usually it grows this like giant trees like that. That's a tall eastern hemlock, but this is a little one here. Very interesting. So there's some nice evergreens here. Even in winter, it's still nice and green. But obviously, you got this bare deciduous canopy, which is not my favorite, but there's still some nice stuff here. The funny story is that pretty mild actually. Glad to hear that. Yeah. Looked like it's probably in the 50s in Virginia Beach today, maybe. I don't know. I've been checking the weather a lot lately there. So that's awesome. But the funny thing is that this garden, Brookside Gardens, which is a great place. It's actually near where I volunteer, the National Capital Trolley Museum, which is it's a railroad museum near here, which is a really cool place. And this is right nearby. I've actually been coming here since I was a little kid. And the funny thing is, sorry, let me check this really quickly. Interesting. Tsuga chinensis, Chinese hemlock. I've never heard of this. I'm used to the eastern hemlock. It's really cool. Sorry, as I was saying, I've been coming here since I was like literally a baby. Brookside Gardens, and obviously, I wasn't into palms as a baby. The first time I remember really getting into palms was when I went to Florida when I was like 4 or something. But I've always loved palms, but I never knew there were palms here when I came here as like a little kid, and then it had been a few years since I had actually been here, and I came back. And I actually found out ahead of time that there were needle palms here, and I came back and I was like, it's just so funny that they have needle palms in this place that I've come since I was a little kid, never actually noticed them. So very, very cool. Give me a reason to come back here because it's a great gardens. It's up here. You can see it's like suburban Maryland, north of DC. Oh, it's actually kind of cold out, but nothing too bad. Just gonna take a stroll around here. I'm gonna show you guys the premises, show you guys everything. There's some cool stuff here. Beautiful creek here. I remember I came here once and I hiked along the creek, and there was a crawfish there. I remember when I was like I was like 4 or something. Or no, I probably wasn't 4. I was young. I thought it was like the craziest thing, seeing like this looked like a lobster, seeing that here. I was like, what on earth is that doing here? But yeah, there are some crawfish or crayfish, however you say it. Look at these. Starting to come up here. Literally thinks it's spring. It's just nuts. Absolutely nuts. The weather is just crazy. Very unpredictable. Our weather here is pretty nuts, but there's advantages and disadvantages to that. The disadvantages unfortunately come with what palms we can grow. Obviously we can still grow some palms, which is awesome, but if we didn't get those deep freezes, obviously we'd probably be able to grow more stuff. But the advantages is that we get, nice warm weather in the middle of winter sometimes. And right now it's pretty average, upper 40s and rainy, nothing too bad. But, yeah, it is what it is. I actually, to be honest, this is kind of my favorite kind of day. Not the cold. I wish it were warm. And I like warm and rainy days. But this sort of cloudy, overcast day with light rain, that is my favorite kind of day. Some people really don't like the rain. I feel like I could totally live in a rainy climate. Although I love the desert too, which they get rain out there too. But Here's a nice little creek here. Look at the amount of knees on this bald cypress here. These, I guess, all go to this one. Look at the amount of knees on this thing. So these are used to like stabilize them. Crazy. So these bald cypresses, you can see they go bare in winter, but they still hold some foliage, but it's all brown. They sort of hold some of the brown foliage, and the whole floor, the whole ground is just blanketed in these bald cypress needles. Look at the number of knees. It's just crazy. Really, really cool. And then we've got the native American holly here, which is very cool. But yeah, Virginia fruit grower, happy to hear that you are having some nice mild weather down there, because that's awesome. As you can see, no ice obviously on the pond. We have not had cold enough weather for anything to freeze over. I wonder if even like small ponds, I actually wonder if they froze over. I don't think we've had any cold enough weather even for it to ice over. We only had we really had probably definitely under 10 days where it didn't go above freezing. Because there's probably a few days where it didn't go above freezing during the Arctic blast, but besides that, it's been really mild since then, thankfully. So yeah, but yeah, nice little creek here. It's just a pleasant place to walk around. Really beautiful. Crepe myrtle there, bald cypress again, some turtles and everything. More bald cypress here. So yeah, I think I'll just take you guys around, go on a little stroll here, and show you guys the needle palms. Of course, once you get more people in here, I'm gonna head over to the needle palms. Of course, that is a must see, no doubt. Here at Brookside Gardens, look at this tree. Unfortunately, the bad thing about a lot of these streams, unfortunately, is the erosion in the DC area is really bad. You can see it on both sides here, but these roots are once growing in solid soil here. Same with there, look at that. But now they are completely eroded, but it's a nice clear stream here. It's beautiful. Nice crepe myrtle here. I actually did yesterday. I did my what I call the Northern Virginia Palm Tour, which is where I drove around probably close to 4 hours. And I made like a loop for myself. I just planned a route out, measured not measured, but I typed in all the distances on Google Maps and sort of created like a loop for myself. Took the Beltway down, went all the way south to Occoquan, Virginia to film all the trackies there, and then looped back up through Alexandria and Arlington and back to my home. And yeah, just to sort of get a lot of new videos. And look at these ducks here, beautiful mallards there. But everything that I filmed, in fact, I think I've filmed like 8 different palm sites and several non-palm exotic plant sites, and all but one were actually new sites that I'd never filmed before. Most of which I had found out about recently. So that's pretty cool. So including several big trackies. So very excited about that. Got some new videos heading to you guys shortly, which I'll be posting shortly. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, Northern Virginia's got some great palms. It's obviously a bit milder than where we are here, up in Montgomery County. But yeah, it's interesting. I've been thinking, so what I'm going to try to do this spring is I'm going to try to go down to Pungo Palms, stock up on some hardy palms, and I want to try to go around my town, maybe go to the library, obviously get in contact with them first to ask permission and everything, but isn't this beautiful, by the way? To try to plant some local palms, some hardy palms around my town. And yeah, so I'm just curious to see how that goes. I'm gonna try to get in contact with some of the local libraries and stuff to plant some palms, because I think that'd be neat. And yeah, there's lots of sable minor needle palms obviously do well here. Needle palms are pricey, that's the problem, but sable minor are cheap at Pungo Palms at least. And yeah, I'm gonna try to plant them around the town, and just try to palmify things a bit. But yeah, Pungo Palms is great. They got such a good selection. I think the sable minor are like 10 or 15 bucks there, and they're good size too. So it's awesome. Absolutely love it. But the thing is with trackies, obviously they're marginal in the DC area. A really good microclimate. They're going to be pretty long term, I'd say. It's sort of hit or miss in like a good microclimate. In a bad microclimate, some will still survive the freezes, the worst of freezes, but some will die, unfortunately. And that's the thing, is if I go around planting trackies in my town, then I don't want them dying, obviously. But it's just sort of weighing whether to plant trackies or sable minor needle palms in the town. But yeah, I'll keep you guys posted on that because I'm very excited. They have like a greenhouse here. So I'm gonna try to see if this is open. Huge bald cypress trees there. You can see towering over there. But yeah, how's your guys' weather, by the way? Any of you guys, if you guys are in there, let me know how the weather is, because I've sort of, it's so funny, when I first started getting into palms, everyone was always talking to all the hardy palm growers, and they were all talking about weather, and I was, I didn't exactly understand why people were so weather focused. Obviously, I get that palms need certain requirements, but now I completely get it. I've just become a complete weather nut, as many palm growers are. Not even just in following our own weather, but I started following, other places around the world, looking at weather data and stuff. So I have become absolutely weather obsessed, because this is fascinating, Whoa, look at this. Cedrus atlantica, look at this. My gosh, I've never seen a tree so wide and flat. That's crazy. Weeping blue atlas cedar. So it's an atlas cedar that's been like pruned up perfectly flat against the building there. And that's nuts. It must have been taking a while to grow it like that. That's crazy. There's a huge palm greenhouse here. I don't know if you have to pay to go in. That's the only problem. I don't know much money on me. So let's see. I'm gonna head in, try to see, because they've got some good palms in there. Oh, it actually looks like a movie. Okay, so it should be open. Is it free? Planning to take photos inside, you must follow our photo filming policy. Oh, okay, so you can take photos inside. Good. This is really neat. I've never been in here. Never ever been in here. Oh my gosh. So I know they have a butterfly area here where you can go in and actually see butterflies. But this is incredible. Look at this. Elephant foot tree. I guess this is a ponytail palm relative. Look at this thing. Huge. Hope the internet's working for you guys. Sorry. Hope you guys are able to comment in there. Sometimes I've had some issues with that, but hopefully it's working all right. Crazy, crazy cycads here. Look at these. Lady palm. My lady palm is doing really well. There's such good indoor palms. Look at this. What is this? Some sort of Livistona, it looks like. See, the problem with these is it's a beautiful greenhouse, and they've got some great specimens in here, like this eucalyptus. I'm guessing they actually had to chop it down to keep it small. But the thing with these is, obviously, a palm like this, very soon, unfortunately, they're going to have to cut it down, because these things grow so fast. One leaf makes this thing a lot taller, because these things are huge. And you can see, unfortunately, it's already reaching towards the ceiling. So that's the problem with these greenhouses, is that you got to be able to either really tall or just cut the palms down frequently and then plant new ones. This is palm grass, I think. It's not actually a palm, but it's funny how much it looks like one. Really looks like a palm. Lady palm grove in here. It's so nice and warm in here, by the way. Feels absolutely amazing. Oh, wow. Stunning palm here. Ravenea glauca. Oh, that's beautiful. Majesty palm. So Ravenea rivularis is the common majesty palm. So this is a more rare species of majesty palm. Absolutely beautiful with Spanish moss on it. I remember seeing this place last time I was here, because it's during COVID, I think, like during 2021 during COVID. So it was, it was closed in here, but it was beautiful, and finally made it in. So that's awesome. Look at this. This is a Chamaedorea, I think, of some sort. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It's so nice and steamy in here. Feels amazing. Look at this palm here. Butia of some sort. That is an old palm. Very beautiful. Ioria. Chamaedorea radicalis, of course. That's awesome. So this is what mine will look like if it actually grows. It's been suffering a little lately because it was in an enclosed space, but it was basically didn't have enough. I don't even think it had enough sunlight. It was basically in the sink in that sort of building behind my house. So I put it in a more sunny spot and watering it. And yeah, hopefully it gets this size someday. Who knows? It's a beautiful palm. And then look at the flower on this banana. Absolutely beautiful. So, yeah. Said there were 4 people in there. Hopefully the comment section is working all right, because it's unfortunately sometimes it does malfunction. But if it goes on, because I know how frustrating that can be, not being able to comment. But hopefully the comment section. So if you guys are in there, type something and verify that it's working, because if it's not, then I'll restart the live stream. But yeah, hopefully you guys are in there doing well. Beautiful. Look at this. Really, really nice greenhouse in here. Bird of paradise. So you can already see they've had to chop down some of these trunks because they probably grow all the way up to the ceiling. Same with the ponytail palm, actually. I didn't even think about this. Or actually, I don't know. Maybe they haven't, but it looks like they might have chopped down one of the trunks, because these things grow huge. Hey, Mr. Troxical. Mr. Troxical. Great to hear from you. Armpit of America. Where is the Armpit of America? Is it like I'm trying to think what that is. Is the Armpit of America somewhere like where Florida meets the rest of the U.S.? Like where it curves in? You somewhere in Florida? Where are you, Mr. Troxical? Very, very fascinated to know. I should know what the Armpit of America is, but very interesting. Hey, Southwest Ireland Rainforest, Dara O'Connell, so great to hear from you. Oh wow, lots of comments in there now. So good to hear from you, Dara. How's the weather? How's everything going? Your palms look beautiful, by the way. Dara's in Ireland, as his name implies. And yeah, beautiful eucalyptus here. They've had to probably cut it down because it grows so tall. You can see it's got a huge trunk, but these things grow back if you cut them down. But I'm in this greenhouse, sort of taking advantage of the heat right now. It's not too cold out. It's like 49, 50, but it's raining. It's probably like, I don't know what that is, like 8. No, it's like probably more like 12 Celsius, 13 Celsius, and rainy outside. But yeah, I'm just taking advantage. And there are some needle palms outside, so I will head outside very soon. Beautiful Howea forestriana here. This is a species that could probably be grown in the UK. Be a beautiful Kentia palm. Lots of great species in here. Lady palm, Cycas. Oh, this is the Queen Sago. Cycas circinalis. Beautiful. I just love this garden. It makes me so happy being here. It brings back great childhood memories, because I don't actually know about this greenhouse, but I came to this garden as a kid. Beautiful barrel cacti here. Look at that. And then we've got Nalina recurvata, elephant foot tree, beautiful cacti, saguaro. Look at this, saguaro cactus. That's a species that would be interesting to try in the UK. I think it is too wet there, but there are some Mediterranean places in the UK or in the British Isles. Pretty mild, actually. Hey, from Key West. Oh, NSCAP. Great to hear from you. Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous. See, so Key West probably looks like this without the greenhouse. Or more tropical, actually. You guys got coconut palms, everything down there. Lipstick palms. Key West is awesome. I'm so jealous of you. Greetings. Key West is awesome. I've been there once, right before COVID, 2019. I was there actually on New Year's 2020. And God, it's amazing. Key West is so beautiful. Jersey. Oh, Mr. Tropical. Jersey. Oh, okay. So is Armpit of America referring more to the geographic look, or is it interesting? Interesting. Is it because it's right below Massachusetts? Like, because it's right below where like New England sticks out. Interesting. Jersey, yes. You know, my family's from Jersey. My mom's from there, so I have strong family ties to New Jersey, and it is a beautiful beaches. Some nice palms there. Gotta love that. I go there at least once or twice a year to visit family and go to the beach. U.S. Botanic Gardens seems to be a lot less dense than the UK ones. Yes. They absolutely are. The U.S. Botanic Gardens. I thought you meant the U.S. Botanic Garden is the official Botanic Garden of the United States in D.C. But yes, the Botanic Gardens here are much less. It's a good question, actually. The one Huntington Gardens, if you check out my video on that in Los Angeles, which looks like this without the greenhouse. They got palms everywhere. That is much more dense. This Botanic Garden, this is like a suburban Botanic Garden, so they got a lot of land here, so it is much less dense, definitely. Great to hear from you, Cal, by the way. How's everything going in London? You know, my dad, actually, I should post his pictures. He was just in London, and he sent me some palm pictures from there. Some huge trackies, some washies. The washies were like in pots, but they were obviously out the whole winter doing fine. And some beautiful palms there, so that is awesome. Hope you're doing well, Cal. That's awesome to hear from you. very mild here. Next week will be spring. Next week will be spring. Well, yeah, you guys probably, next week you guys definitely are probably gonna have spring-like weather. All the daisies and stuff are flowering here. It's pretty crazy. My new plants arrived. That's awesome, Derek. Yes, your new, I saw your new trackies and everything, and your yucca. That's awesome. I have a ketchup palm in my garden. Do you really? Is it outside? Is it outside year round? Because that is awesome. I know they can probably grow in Cornwall and maybe in London too. That's awesome. Yes, Lowell, Zone 11B here. Yes, Zone 11B. So Enscaps in Key West, Florida, which is one of my favorite places I've ever been. It is so beautiful. And that's probably the mildest inhabited place in Florida, because I say the Keys are probably one of the only places in Florida where the lipstick palms, which is one of the most tender palms in the world, can actually survive year-round reliably. Even in Miami, they can get damaged or potentially die in a bad freeze. But Key West is mild enough. It is so mild there, so beautiful. Love it. Hey, Jesse Harris, great to hear from you. Thank you guys for all joining in. It's great to have you here. I'm going to go outside in just a second, I promise. Show you guys all the exotica out there, but obviously much more lush in here this time of year and much warmer. I'll be doing a video on my very large Yucca rostrata next week. I can't wait, Dara. I can't wait to see that. Yes, outside year round, there's also lots of, that's crazy year round. That is amazing. I'm blown away. I saw some huge ones in Lisbon, like 30, 40 footers when I was there because I have family in Lisbon. I should have gotten a video of them, but it was from the car. I really wanted to get a video of them. But beautiful, like growing in a park in Lisbon. But I mean, it's just crazy they can go in London. Blows my mind. Trichycarpus are towering over me. Yes, you have huge Trichycarpus, Dara. That's awesome. It's planted in the ground. That's amazing. There is some place with 20-foot. Is that really true? Because I know Jeff Searle, I think. Jeff Searle. I hope I'm getting his name right. I'm subscribed to him. He has a video of some huge lipstick palms in Key West. Or in the Keys somewhere. But that's awesome. I'd love to see those. If you could get, you should get like a picture of those and send them. I'll put, if you guys ever want me to, because I always put my email out for those who want to email. I email plenty of my viewers. They send me pictures of their palms and stuff. If you guys ever want me to post, because I can post like pictures on YouTube like I did to announce the live stream. If you guys ever wanted me to post pictures of your palms, I'm happy to do that. If you guys can send me a picture of your palm, I can post it. I'll also do drone footage of my plants. I can't wait for that. That's awesome. Dara, your rainforest, just a couple years ago, you were like planting everything, and now your rainforest is all grown in, and it looks beautiful. And it's just gonna keep growing from there. God, my hands are like numb still. It's so funny. I have like this weird thing, I think it's genetic in my family, where my hands go numb very easily, which sucks. I also play guitar, so when I play guitar out in like after being out in any cold weather, I always have to warm my hands up for like 10-15 minutes before I can actually play. I like basically can't bend my hand all the way because it's just from the cold. And it's like 49 degrees out. It's not that cold out at all. It's pretty mild, but it's raining, so it just feels colder. I'm gonna head out, guys. So beautiful palms there, Butia, cycads and everything. But it's very nice. This is free. They also, let's look at the map here. So I'll show you guys this. There's a butterfly garden, which is what I went to a lot as a little kid, where you can actually go inside one of these greenhouses and they have butterflies. So let's see where we are. Parking lot, visitor center. So we're like over here somewhere. Yeah, we're here. Conservatories. Where's the butterfly garden? Huh. Oh, is there another conservatory? Oh, we can exit on the other side, huh? Interesting, it's interesting. I'm gonna head out this way then. Let's go back through the garden. So yeah, as I was mentioning, I came here literally since I was a baby. It's about 15-20 minutes north of my house. Good deal north of DC. And I never knew there were palms here. And then obviously once I started getting into palms, I learned there were palms here. They have 6 beautiful needle palms planted outside, which I got a shot of for the thumbnail. It said it wasn't uploading the thumbnail, so I don't know if it actually uploaded, but there are some beautiful needle palms I'll show you guys. Beautiful in here. Sorry. Beautiful bananas here. That's a Camidori radicalis there. Huge butia, so some awesome, oh, this must be another greenhouse here. I wonder where the butterfly exhibit is. This is beautiful. It's a bit colder in here. Beautiful. This is really lovely. Maybe they have the butterflies out this time of year. I don't know. Because they used to have a butterfly conservatory in here. I swear it was here. So, I don't know. Ooh, you can feel that chill. It's not too bad out, to be honest. It actually, yeah, it really isn't bad out. It's like 49 and rainy, as I mentioned. But yeah, huge bald cypress. This is one of the staples here. You can see all of them here. This is our native to Maryland, bald cypress trees. The closest native grove is probably like an hour and a half from here. But they are really cool trees. It's so funny because it's really weird. Bald cypress grow all the way to Delaware on the East Coast, so decently far up. But it's weird that they don't grow further because in the Midwest, they grow all the way into like Indiana, which is much, much, much colder than Delaware. Southern Indiana is like zone 6, and Delaware is like zone 7B. So it's very strange. Huge yucca here. Wow, I never even saw these before. Yucca glauca, soapweed yucca. This is gorgeous. I never actually knew yucca glauca got a trunk. Huh. So this yucca is native all the way east to Iowa, and it was native to Missouri, I think, before maybe development, and all the land was cleared. But that's pretty cool. I think this is the pond where it's like covered up, but as a kid, look at that huge bald cypress. It's a really funny story. As a kid, I came here and I had a toy fire truck that was like my obsession. I was really always into fire trucks as a kid, and I dropped it into the pond there. I think it was that pond. And I was so sad that I dropped it in. I jumped in after it, and it was like I couldn't even stand or anything. And I never got the fire truck back, I don't think. Tragic. But yeah, I jumped in for no reason. But look at this tree. This is like what they had growing on there. It's like this crazy growth pattern they have it growing in. Very interesting. Southern magnolia here, of course, a staple of the exotic garden landscape. Huge crepe myrtles there. Put my hood on for a second. Look at all these geese, my God. Look at all these Canada geese. I never knew this until recently, but they're actually not called, the plural is not Canadian geese. They're actually still called Canada geese, because Canada's after, I think, John Canada. It's like some naturalist, so it's not Canadian geese. They're actually not named after the country Canada. They're named after a person named Canada. Look at that. Tons of them. Sorry, guys. Yes, and I'm planning on buying 4 acres. That's awesome. 4 acres of land there. That's awesome. You can plant tons of palms on that. I wish we could get 4 acres here near the city, but that would cost probably tens of millions of dollars. Our house is on under a 1/4 acre land, under 1/4 of an acre, so very small. But there's still room for palms. Always room for palms. In St. Mawes, Cornwall. Oh, wait, are you in St. Mawes, Cornwall? I thought you were near London. It's 49 in London now. Oh. Interesting. It's 49 in London now, 7 p.m. That's like the exact same weather as here. Yeah, it's like 49 and rainy here. I don't know if it's raining in London, but it looked like it wasn't supposed to rain too much. And then you can see these daisies or whatever these are starting to come up. It's already flowering here. I mean, that just shows you how mild it's been. It's so crazy. We had our Arctic blast, got down to here it probably got down to like 7 Fahrenheit, 7 degrees, very cold. And then now, we've had such a mild January. It's still January, that there's literally, flowers coming up out of the ground all over. Look at these garden beds. They're literally coming up everywhere with all these geese here. Look at these things. These birds are huge. I'm gonna take there's a nice lake loop around here. I want to show you guys the needle palms too, but I'm gonna let everyone get in here first. 4 acres here cost I can't count the zeros. 20,000 euros. Wow. 20,000 euros. That's extremely cheap. Look at my gosh. Everything here, I don't know what that is in dollars, probably pretty similar. But everything here costs, 4 acres here, again, it will cost tens of millions of euros probably. If that's actually 20,000 euros, that's insane. I've never heard of a house for under 100,000. Or under the hundreds of thousands anywhere near here. Most houses are in the upper hundreds of thousands or millions once you get closer to the city. Beautiful pine here. I don't know what this is, but very, very nice. It's just a beautiful garden. This is what our woods look like. Again, I'm not a huge fan of it. You can see all the English ivy on some of those trees there. Very invasive, but the forests are just very, very, bare this time of year. I wish there was a lot more, I wish there were more evergreens around in our forest. There are some evergreens, but they usually grow in like select groves, like there'll be pine groves. There are actually the pine barrens near DC, where it's just all pines, but those are pretty rare, and most of it's just deciduous forest, which I really can't stand. I wish there were more evergreens here. It drives me nuts. I think about it way too much. I gotta ease myself myself, but I keep thinking about these deciduous forests and how much I hate them. Because, I mean, it's not attractive, obviously, in winter. But in summer, the plus side is that it's a lot more exotic looking in summer. And we've got some evergreen ferns, as you can see here, but very, very, very few evergreens in the average forest here. I mean, literally, I can't see a single evergreen tree anywhere here. They're huge, though. I mean, when I came here in summer, it was like actually kind of crazy just how lush this is. It's very, very lush in summer. And then you can see across the way several huge, huge trees growing here. Huge dawn redwood there. You can see it, despite it being deciduous, it's still got all of its a lot of its needles, at least, that it still retains on, even after they turn brown. There's one. I can see an American holly there through the woods. They got some nice trails here. I'm not going to go on any trails. I'm just going to stick on this path. This is basically a loop around the lake here and then back to the needle palm. So I'll show you guys that. Very excited. We have forest granite and ground in Cornwall and same. Oh, got it. I'd love to see that. I think I've seen some somewhere in Cornwall, but that is just amazing. The UK palms just blow me away. I would love to go there. I really want to get back to the UK. I visited friends there like years ago, but I need to return. 52 Fahrenheit and NG were oh, nice, 52 Fahrenheit. Though it seems a polar vortex is yeah, I saw that. It's supposed to get down to like 14 here, 14 Fahrenheit. It says that, and then it always ends up being milder, but it still says it's supposed to get pretty cold here. So who knows? Who really knows? I mean, obviously, we'll know very soon. But it does look like it's going to get colder, yeah. Look at this. This is so beautiful. This is the Japanese garden here. This is where I came as a kid. They have a sign, don't throw stones onto the ice or into the pond, but there has been no ice here the entire year. I can assure you that. Maybe a little bit of ice on the edge, but none right now, certainly. But I very much doubt there's been any ice this whole year. Yeah, beautiful view here, though. I mean, even despite how bare it is in winter, it's still a nice view. And there's turtles all in here. I don't know if they're here right now, but at least in summer, there's tons of turtles in the pond here. I'm like the only one here. Beautiful Japanese garden here. It's really nice. I love all the evergreens. This is what I wish our forests looked like. I don't know what this is, but it's a beautiful, exotic looking tree. I've seen these before. Beautiful, beautiful tree. Beautiful. So yeah, let me check. See if there's a tag anywhere on here, but don't think there is. South John rainforest, you could probably get some. The leaves on the trees here are starting to open their leaves. That's crazy. No, I've not seen any of that yet here, but the flowers are starting to bloom. Yes, Cal, only one problem, I'm miles from the sea. Got it. Also have deciduous forests here. Yes, I've heard that. But still, I think England, I mean, compared to DC area, I think England's forests are still much more mixed. I know there's a lot more evergreens mixed in there. And also, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I think there's something just about the English oaks and all the beautiful deciduous trees there. I think the English forests are just more attractive. I don't know. I just find our forests rather ugly in winter, but you guys can disagree with me. Let me know your thoughts. I'm gonna try to head out here. Beautiful. Look at this bald cypress here with the knees on the edge of the pond. That's crazy. What a cool garden. Yes, would much rather have eucalyptus forest. And you guys can and do have some eucalyptus forests over there because there's some huge eucalyptus growing in the UK. But yes, I would much rather have that too. Australia, one of the top places I'd love to go. Probably won't happen anytime soon, but I would love to go there. Such great palms and eucalyptus. Yeah, those are so cool. Not a fan of deciduous trees either. I love the many green pines. Yes. New Jersey, like the southern half of New Jersey, filled with pines. It's just all pines. It's the Pine Barrens. Those are gorgeous. Yes. Makes the winter feel more green, no doubt. And also North Jersey, interestingly, has some sort of like more northern evergreens, but central New Jersey or sort of north central, more deciduous. By the coast, there's some pines, and then yes, southern New Jersey is all pines, which is really cool. It kind of surprised me when I first saw it. Pretty shallow here, actually. Salam. Hey, Igni, great to see you in here. How's the weather up there in the north of France? So good to see you. I have one huge eucalyptus, a few eucalyptus trees. Yes, Derek. Ireland is such a good climate for eucalyptus, for many of the hardy eucalyptus species, as was the UK. Polar vortex is supposed to hit the Americas instead of Europe. Yes, Europe's having this crazy mild weather. Eucalyptus are naturalized in West Europe. Yeah, I bet they are. I know. Even some of the wildfires in Spain and France, they've been blaming on the eucalyptus. Same with California, obviously. And Japanese azalea. That's awesome. There's tons of azaleas here. I'm gonna try to find some. Hey, Cincy Tropics. Great to see you in here. How's everything going in Cincinnati? I know that you guys have been having some crazy mild weather. Hopefully everything's going well. China fir, that's it. So that big tree right there is a China fir. There's these crazy looking trees. Thank you so much. It's a fir. Yes, exactly. You see a good amount of pines here. That's awesome. That is awesome. I love pines so much. I love the evergreens. I wish there were more of them here again. And the cool thing is there are some pine barrens. Like if you go east, and also if you go south and east of DC, there's some. And where the pines grow, they mostly grow like just pines. Like there's no other trees there. But most of the forests are just deciduous. Oak is native to Ireland, so it's Irish oak. Okay, got it. Yes, there's some cool oak species up there. Eucalyptus naturalized here, but more need to be planted. I agree. Yes, totally. You guys can create a eucalyptus forest, and also your guys' cooler weather. Like, I mean, I think eucalyptus certainly can be blamed for some of the wildfires, but in the UK, it's just, I think it's just cool enough that you'd really never have a fire risk from a eucalyptus forest, the way that you do maybe in California or wherever where it gets really hot. Because it's so cool in summer there, which is nice. I have a China fir. You do? I've seen a number of them around here. They're nice and hardy. That's awesome. They're very exotic looking, very interesting looking trees. Let's head over here. And I do have something cool to tell you guys about. So now that you guys are in here, I'll just say what I said earlier again. You can see these are our native American holly. That's probably the most common evergreen here. They stay pretty small, but yeah. The, oh God, what was I going to say? So yesterday I did my Northern Virginia palm tour. Basically, I just drove around to a bunch of different palm sites in Northern Virginia across the river from here. And I saw lots of cool different palms, including several big trackies I'd never made videos on before. One of them, actually, there was about like a dozen or so trackies planted in on the water, and they were actually all wrapped, which was interesting. I've never seen trackies be wrapped here before. But so I just got a video of the boxes. It was kind of underwhelming because I couldn't actually see the palms, but they'll be nice and green by summer, I'm sure. But anyways, I got videos of lots of other palms there, and I saw, it was so funny. This is how common some of these exotic plants are. Or not how common, but you just drive around, and I turn onto a random street in Alexandria, Virginia, which is right across from DC. And I came across a wall, it must have been 5 or 6 at least, Italian cypresses. And when I made the video, I wasn't exactly sure if they were Italian cypresses, but I took one of the cones home, and I looked at the foliage, and sure enough, they are actually Italian cypresses. Big ones. This is here in Zone 7. People say they couldn't even be grown here, but certainly they can. And these are like huge towering ones. You guys will see in just a few days when I upload the video. But check this out. This is a cone that I took. So for you Italian cypress experts, you guys can verify that I'm pretty sure this is Italian cypress cone. I looked at the pictures of the cones. They look very similar to this. It had all these seed pods I had to shake out. They got all over the floor and everything, but I cleaned that up, and now I've got the cone to show for it. So that is an Italian cypress cone, I think. So that was pretty cool to see. Pretty awesome. There's a railroad somewhere up in here. An old, it's like a kid's railroad. It's kind of funny. Should I go over there? I'm just gonna stick to this side. What time is it? I've been on for 39 minutes. Okay. China fir, you can open your eyes outside here without seeing tons of loblolly pines, which makes. Yes. Adam Pauly, I'm assuming you're somewhere down south if you're talking about the loblolly pines, because that's awesome. Yeah, there are loblolly pines native to the DC area, but they're not too common here. Lots of southern wax myrtle and sweet bay. Oh my gosh, so you're down there. We have sweet bay magnolia native here, but it's also, again, native to very restricted sites. But that is awesome. There's some blue China fir at Spring Grove Cemetery. Are there really? Really? It's so funny. I actually have tons of family buried there. All my family is from Cincinnati, going back like hundreds of years is buried there. And the magnolias there are incredible, like not 100-foot, but, you know, it's probably 60, 70-foot magnolias there. Huge. He's a huge Dawn redwood, by the way. Look at this thing. And, yeah, I mean, there's some great exotic plants there. I did not know that. That is awesome. We have an Irish holly. Interesting. I know there's the English holly. I know there's obviously the American holly. There's tons of different species of holly. I think the South probably has a number of other species too. I disagree. Did you see the fires last year? Oh, I think you actually might have told me about that, or someone told me about that. Average high was in the 80s in July and August. Yeah, sorry. Okay, so last year, I know you guys had that. No bone dry ground. Eucalyptus could. Yes, that's true. It's a fair point. I know. I mean, obviously, London got to like 105 last year or something insane, but obviously that's not common. I mean, what does London average in summer? Like in the 70s? Because we average 90 degrees Fahrenheit here in summer. So obviously that's a lot hotter. But to be fair, most of London in the UK is drier in summer than we are here. We're crazy humid here, which makes it even more unpleasant. It is hot as all you know what in summer here. It is crazy hot in summer. So that's a fair point. It is drier there. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm, you know, it's not like Portugal gets crazy hot in summer on average too. I was there in summer and it wasn't that hot, but they can get really hot. And again, it is dry. So that's a fair point. Yeah. Yeah, the eucalyptus, unfortunately, are just very flammable. But again, they're native to such hot areas in Australia. I think it's a little overblown. Like in California, a lot of the native trees are also very flammable. The problem is just the fires. Obviously, the fires are terrible there. I got a new orca 3 years ago. It is outside and it grows well. Really? That's interesting. Wow. So it is really mild there, obviously. That is so cool. Irish is our first language. Really? Is that true? Above English. I've heard Irish spoken. It's a very interesting language. I wish I could speak some other language. I mean, sorry, I speak a little bit of French, but like, you know, not enough to live there, let's say. That's the only downside to eucalyptus. If you search wildfires, London 22 years. Yes, I will look at that because I did hear about the fires in the South. Yeah. It's a fair point. But I mean, you know what I mean. Once you go north enough in the UK, it is pretty cool in summer. Like, you know, and I know the Scilly Isles it averages what, like in the 60s in summer. So in general, it is cooler. Like, I think it's, you know, obviously a lot cooler than like Portugal in summer, but you make a good point. You know, those crazy wildfires. You know, those crazy heat waves sometimes that can lead to that. And yeah, I mean, again, eucalyptus, you got to always make a judgment call with that because they can be flammable. It's limon cypress. Limon cypress. Is that your native cypress? Limon cypress. Interesting. Not 3 years, 3 weeks, sorry. Oh, got it. Well, 3 weeks, I mean, it's already survived some of the colds. That's pretty cool. 77, but it's much more dry. The summers are also getting hotter. Yes. Average high here is supposed to be 85. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Yeah, I think we're probably supposed to average like 95 or something here in summer, or probably close to 100 soon enough. And places like Miami are going to be like, I mean, basically unbearable soon enough in summer. Not to mention underwater, obviously. I mean, it floods there so often now. It's crazy. That's crazy, though. Yeah, no, it is supposed to get hotter. And I know the inland UK in the south, I mean, obviously it's cooler by the coast, but the inland, yeah, it can probably get pretty hot. Again, I'm not an expert on the weather there, but it is so nice and mild. I'm blown away. Someone posted again a picture that you know, the washing in Wimbledon, that's probably like 50 feet tall or close to it, maybe 40. That washie, which I'd seen pictures of it so many times, but I couldn't believe the size. It is literally like it's taller than the house, which is like 4-story house. It's crazy. Yeah, no, I mean, things are only warming, which is, you know, can be good for palm growers, but bad for, you know, the majority of things, and makes your summers a lot worse, and not to mention all the environmental issues, obviously. Yes, I speak Irish language. Oh, the Irish language is millions of years old. You speak Irish. That's awesome. Do you learn it in school, or is it like something your family speaks? That's very interesting. I find that fascinating. All the different languages out there. Even in, you know, so-called English-speaking countries, there's tons of different languages. I mean, here in the U.S., obviously, we've got tons of languages. I think Brooklyn I think Queens, actually, Queens in New York City is the most linguistically diverse place in the world. I think there's something like 500 something languages spoken there. It's just nuts. It's crazy. It's incredible. Yes. Sorry, Maryland palms. Great to see you in here. I've checked out your channel, by the way. I really love it. And I can't wait to see more videos of those Maryland palms because there are some nice palms here in Maryland. And yes, you're absolutely right. I don't know if the thumbnail actually uploaded, but I got a shot of the needle palms at the beginning. I'm going to head back to them right now. Because yes, there are beautiful needle palms right up here. Absolutely. I'm just sort of wandering around showing you guys some of the other stuff, but I need to get to the main focus, which is obviously the needle palms. It's such a great place here. You know, obviously, again, you look around, I mean, most of what you see is gray and brown, but there's lots of still nice green trees here. Huge holly there. Limon or gold crested cypress is native to Ireland. Interesting. I've never heard of that species. You're talking like a waterfall. I know. This is the problem, is I get lost on tangents when I'm talking, and then I start talking like crazy, and I'll forget about the comments, and then I just have to get back to all the comments, and then I sort of go through them way too fast. Yes, I'm sure I'm talking way too fast. Max Hensel, by the way, how are you? You're the one. Were you the one who posted on my my new Facebook page? Because you visited Mexico, right? I started a new Facebook page called Palms of Mexico because I'm just fascinated by the palms that grow there, and yeah, that's awesome. Because I think your thumbnail's from Mexico, right? It's beautiful. Every school in Ireland speaks Irish. Interesting. I mean, most schools here, yeah, I mean, I think 20% of the U.S. population speaks Spanish. So most schools, you know, Spanish is probably the most common taken language. I take French because all my family in Canada and Europe speaks French, but I really wish I had taken Spanish, quite honestly, and I'm going to probably take it in college because, you know, it's obviously such a useful language here. And also for traveling, you know, I love Mexico and they speak Spanish there, obviously. It survived -2°C without damage. We got a cold wave. Oh, wow. Interesting. That's a tough orchid then. That's really cool. Yeah, I've been there a couple of times. It's a pretty cool place. Yes. Brookside Gardens is cool, and in summer it's a lot more green, but there's still lots of cool stuff to see here this time of year. Really cool, especially the needle palms. Obviously, those are here year round, obviously. Oh, you're born in Moscow. Yes, I think you told me that, Dara. That's really cool. Very interesting. I think part of my family's Russian on my mom's side. Pretty sure. Latvian as well. I can speak Italian. Can you really? Cincy Tropics, that's awesome. My mom's trying to learn Italian. She speaks it pretty well. And that is awesome. That is really cool because I mean, obviously Italy is such a neat place. So I'm jealous of that. Always jealous people can speak different languages. Yes, it is my favorite vacation. Yes. Mexico cannot be beat. I went to the West Coast where it's obviously this tropical desert, which is just fascinating. The East Coast of Mexico is like, you know, it's like South Florida or the Caribbean or something. Obviously much more, much more dense and a wetter climate, and just an incredible place. The diversity of ecosystems. It's a lot like the U.S., but obviously warmer in general. So I love it. Penza, Moscow. Interesting. I can speak a very small amount of Italian. Really, Cal? That's awesome. Buongiorno. I'm trying to think what else I know. Buongiorno. I visited Italy like a number of years ago, and I tried to learn like a few phrases, and I've already forgotten like all of that. Interesting. I really wish I could speak Italian because I love Italy. Nice and palmy down there. I know someone said that there was a coconut palm growing at the Botanic Garden, outdoors, the Botanic Garden in, I think it's outdoors, in Palermo, Sicily. But I have not verified that, but apparently there may be one. All right, guys, sorry, I've kept you waiting long enough. I've kept myself waiting long enough, too. I want to see these needle palms. Let's take a look back here. Gonna sort of venture through the brush and arrive at our first, certainly not the largest one here. They got some huge ones here. But look at this needle palm. This is just a spectacular needle palm. I think it sort of maybe shows more of the shade grown aspect. I feel like they grow denser in the sun. Maybe I'm wrong, but it seems more spread out here in the shade. You can see this it's interesting, the different fronds. I showed this on my last video, which I just uploaded, of that needle palm hedge, which is absolutely nuts up in Northern Virginia, or down in Northern Virginia. But this frond is about like a, 180 degree. And then this one is obviously like probably, 300 degrees. And then some are like 360 degrees. So very interesting, the different frond shapes. But isn't this just a beautiful frond? Absolutely untouched by the cold, obviously. Just stunning. I'm so glad we can grow these. Needle palms are the best. Oh, I love needle palms so much. It's so funny. This actually, I said there were 6 needle palms here. There's 6 clusters of needle palms here, but it's actually really hard to tell with the leaves. But this individual cluster looks like multiple needle palms, but I think it might just be multiple trunks actually. But it's like a huge cluster in here. Look at this. Incredible. So there are actually 6 of them here, as you can see more over there. Just amazing. I've seen some trachys and needles in VA's Eastern Shore. Yes, really, yes. I know there's some washies in Chincoteague, but I think they're just planted as annuals. Tons of crepe myrtle. There's crepe myrtle everywhere here, yeah. That's really cool because I actually did if you guys search up like Eastern Virginia palms, if you look there's a palm talk thread, and I actually posted a bunch of different links to the different palms there. There are tons of palms in Cape Charles. Big palmetto, pindos, sables, trachys, butia, and several others, I think. But there are tons of palms there. I think that's probably the most northern place on the East Coast where they're incredibly common. Although maybe Chincoteague too. I don't know. That's really cool. Yes. Southwest Island rainforest. Yes, exactly. I know Ireland compared to Moscow is a lot warmer, obviously, a lot milder. Because I'm still trying to find one. Beautiful. Yes. Oh, yes, yeah, exactly. The problem with needle palms is that they're obviously very rare. Not the problem with them. The problem with how people have handled them is that, well, obviously they've been unfortunately, deforested to extinction in some areas. But they're still native to, a pretty wide area. But obviously for whatever reason, maybe it's their slow growth. Maybe it's just the fact that you need a male and female to produce seed. But the seeds are hard to come by, and a big size plant is almost unheard of for sale outside of the U.S. I always say I wish they were more common here, but considering how rare they are here, I'm actually surprised how many there are. They're so rare. I've never seen one in a nursery here ever. And, I probably know of at least 40 different needle palms around the city. So it's pretty remarkable that 40 different people have gotten their hands on needle palms, including some obviously, 12-foot ones, which are huge. And these are some good sized ones too. Let me walk through here, guys. Sorry, there's some like fallen branches here. I'm going to try to be careful where I step. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Look at how tiny. Oh my God. Look at this sucker. Look at I've never seen a needle palm frond so small. Look at this frond. Like a baby needle palm frond. That is so crazy. Oh gosh, I'm like trapped in here. Let me try to maneuver my way. There we go. But yeah, you can see those 3 back there. There's 3 clusters, the small ones. Then we've got this. I really wonder if they're planted at the same time. I kind of doubt it, considering how much bigger the one in the back is. But you can see these 2 here, smaller ones, and then we got this monster back here, monster needle palm. Not one of the biggest one, not the biggest one I've seen. Obviously, there's plenty that are probably at least 2 or 3 times the size, but certainly one of the bigger ones. Huge. Look at this frond. I mean, it's just massive. I love needle palms so much. Can't even tell you. They're incredible. I'm so glad they planted these here. It's just amazing. I can't tell you how happy it makes me. It's something that non-palm people will never understand. Why, what gets us into palms, but it's the kind of thing where like, I can't explain why I like palms, but it's something that energizes me. Just always love palms, and every time I find a new one, it just makes me so happy. There's a sort of thrill I get. It's so great. Love them. These are, by the way, I just want to show you guys these. This is the Mahonia that someone was telling me about, I think. Is it? Or it says here, I don't know if this is referring to this, but this looks just like the plant that I was showing you guys in the woods the other day. That was growing there. That it's not native, but it does naturalize here. Yes, very beautiful. These needle palms are stunning. I mean, they're just... We have a great climate for needle palms, obviously. They love our hot, humid summers. The problem with a place like, I don't know, the Pacific Northwest or somewhere is that they'll grow there, certainly, but they are, they'll grow like 4 times as slow because the summers are so much cooler. Here, the reward, despite the fact that our winters are obviously quite cold, the reward for I don't know if it's a reward for our cool winters or the reward for our hot summers, but I mean, what we get out of those crazy, steamy, hot summers is that we get crazy palm growth in summer. Like, even my coconut too grows a lot, and my all my outdoor palms, trachys, but especially trachys don't necessarily love the extreme humidity and heat. These palms just eat it up, and they grow so much. I mean, obviously they're very slow growers still, but comparably they grow a lot faster. Just beautiful, just absolutely beautiful. Whole wall of needle palms here, and then this beautiful like birch tree here. They look like trachycarpus. Yeah, exactly. They do kind of look like trackies. The fronds kind of do. That one really looks like a trachycarpus frond. That one there, it just almost looks like you got a bunch of trackies piled together. Yes. So Adam, I saw those Mexican fan palms in Chincoteague, Virginia, but I don't know. I kind of have trouble imagining they actually survive there. I mean, I thought they were, because I know a lot of the golf courses there, they have like the mini golf and stuff where they plant all the annual palms. I kind of thought the trackies were the the washies were annual palms. But maybe they are there year round. I don't know. I did see those. It kind of shocked me. The huge washies there. That's not too far from here. Where are you traveling to this year? So Max, I don't know. I don't know yet, to be honest. Hopefully somewhere fun. Obviously we've done a ton of travel. It's so funny. You guys probably think I travel like nuts, because I do. But like before COVID, we like didn't travel at all. And now like post COVID, it's just been like crazy. And we've been just going everywhere. And it's been amazing, obviously. And it's just so funny because, I've gotten to see so many different palmy places, but I don't actually know for 2023 where we're traveling yet. If we are traveling, I don't know. Nice. I'm planting more stable minor needle palms in my yard this year, and of course more cactus. Love it. I'm going to, yeah. So I hope to plant a ton more this year. I also hope to plant some palms around my town at the local library and stuff. Try to convince some people to plant some. So that I'm going to try to do too. But yes, I have master plans for that, and tons more cacti that I'm going to try to get in as well. So I'm going to do that as well. Some trackies as well. Love it, love it, love it. You can never have too many palms, especially when it comes to needle palms and stable minor in these cold climates. By the way, look at the number of petioles in here. Is this nuts or what? Look at that. Look at that jungle in there. Crazy. It's got to be hundreds of petioles, hundreds of fronds. Enjoying another of your Sunday afternoon love chats. Love those needle palms. Gloomy and cloudy today. Yes, thank you, Jose. Great to see you in here. Always great to have you in here. Yeah, I heard it was nice in New Jersey. There's someone else on here from New Jersey. Let me scroll back through the comments a while. Who was it that said they were from? Oh yeah, Mr. Toxical said he was from New Jersey. I don't know if he's still on here, but that's awesome. Yes, New Jersey getting the nice warm weather. It's about 48, 49 Fahrenheit right now and rainy. So not too warm, but nothing too bad either. It's supposed to be around 60 Fahrenheit tomorrow. So again, our winters are cold, but we get these crazy warm spells too. We're supposed to be 60 tomorrow. It's supposed to be beautiful. Sorry guys. Just reading through the comments, trying to find. Gloomy and cloudy today, 53. It's the same weather here, just a bit cooler, yeah. Central New Jersey, greetings to you and all the palm enthusiasts. Jose, thanks for joining in. Always great to have you here. Love it. Here, coconuts can only stay outside from March until early October. Yeah. God, it's so funny because you guys are obviously so much milder than us, but to be honest, our coconuts stay outside basically the same amount. I take that back. Maybe ours go out in April, but... Oh, May. Okay, yes. Okay, then yeah, ours are out basically the exact same span as yours, just because we get that. Our heat starts early and it ends late, but we just get so much colder than you. But yeah, I mean, I keep my coconuts out from basically April, May till October. I've seen another picture of a new development with a Washingtonian in front of each house, supposedly. Huh. Oh, whoa. I've seen another picture of a new development with a Washingtonian in front of each house. Wow. Where is that, Adam? Is that somewhere in the south? Oh, on Chincoteague. Gosh, you should post a picture of that. I want to see that picture. Feel free to send that to me. I really want to see that. I'll be planting a load of rhododendrons. Awesome. Rhododendrons are everywhere here. There's got to be some around here. They're beautiful. Love that. Two nice places to visit that are palmy and also have nice Bermuda and Hurghada. I've never heard of Hurghada. Yes, Bermuda is about the same latitude as Charleston, South Carolina, and not far off the coast, to be honest. But it's like, because it's off the coast far enough, it stays so mild. It's a tropical climate. It's crazy. Yes, and Bermuda's part of the UK again, which is pretty cool for you guys. The Canary Islands also. Yes. The Canary Islands. Gosh, that is one of the places I really want to visit. Where are you from, Cal? Cal is from the UK. Cal's from near London. From London, yeah. Um, yeah, that's awesome. Let's take a look around here. Show you guys some of the other stuff. Yes, I'd say Egypt is probably safer than London, to be honest. Really? Yeah, that's like where I was in Mexico. You know, where I was in Mexico, generally, it's a pretty safe spot. And, you know, Cabo, San Lucas, obviously, it's a huge vacation spot, and Los Cabos. But, yeah, you do see that. You drive around the town, and there are armed security people, armed police officers on the streets there. But, again, pretty safe, generally. Although I did drive by one, I walked by, actually, this one car that had the windshield smashed completely in, and there was a woman still sitting in the car. I don't know what was going on there, but again, overall pretty safe. I don't know what that was, though. Yes, in Egypt is a beautiful country. There's some coconuts, actually, I think on the Red Sea in Egypt, in southern Egypt, so it is nice and mild down there, and that is awesome. Yeah, again, those sort of desert climates I think are my favorite. Like where I was in Mexico, that was heaven. Cacti everywhere, palms everywhere. It's a tropical climate. You got all sorts of tropical palms. They even have native ficus down there. Ficus, I don't know what it's called actually. It's the oh my god, I'm forgetting the name. It's some sort of banyan. Like it's got this beautiful white bark, and it's just stunning. It's really stunning. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna hang around here for a little bit around these needle palms because these are obviously the star of the show here. But look at the size of these fronds. Huge fronds here. This one's just massive. That's a beast. I never noticed this when I was here as a kid. Again, it's like people don't really think about it, you know. They just walk right by. But they are spectacular. And then look at this. This is our native sweet bay magnolia here. Magnolia virginiana. This is a native species. And again, basically a subtropical species. Most of its range is in the subtropics. But it is, again, yeah, it reaches up to the DC area. Here's the Mahonia, by the way. Lily of the Valley bush. Beautiful. But yeah, the Magnolia virginiana is native here, which is pretty cool, and it's what they call a semi-evergreen species. So it basically stays mostly mostly evergreen, and it loses its leaves in cold climates and keeps them in warm climates. But yeah, here it's almost completely evergreen. This is interesting. I want you guys to, I don't know what this is. I'll zoom in on that tag there. Daphne-phyllum macropodum. Daphne-phyllum macropodum. Do you guys know what this is? I don't know the common name on this. It's a beautiful species, whichever it is, though. Look at this. Beautiful. It's got sort of Magnolia virginiana-like foliage. No, actually, it's got sort of rhododendron-like foliage. Look at this. Beautiful. Very tropical looking. That's a beautiful species right there. There's the Maryland flag there. They have like a Maryland garden here. It's funny they have the needle palms there because, you know, they are grown here, obviously. And there's actually this place on the eastern shore of Maryland, the state park. And I can't explain this. I don't know what it was. Maybe someone threw a seed back there. But there is literally a big needle palm growing in the middle of the woods in Maryland on the eastern shore. It's a loblolly pine forest, a subtropical forest. And there's a needle palm in the middle of the woods there. It's crazy. I can't explain it. I don't know what it is. Egypt doesn't have the gang problem. Yes. Only risk might be scammers, but that's about it. The sea is... That's amazing. There's coral? Wow, I didn't even know there was coral in Egypt. So it must be like tropical then. Because I think it's north of the tropics, technically, but it must have like a tropical-like climate. That's crazy. Yeah, where I was in Mexico, yes, that's true. Of course, there's problems with that sort of stuff, but the coral reefs are incredible there. I went to one of the beaches. I wish I could take my camera underwater. I want to get a waterproof camera because it was amazing. The coral there was incredible. Tropical fish. It was crazy. Sycamore fig. Sycamore. Is that the one native to... Is that it? Interesting. Interesting. So many cool fig species. One plant that dominates the East Coast I've noticed is the ghetto palm. Yes, I've heard of that. The ghetto palm, as it's sometimes called, mostly it's called the what's it called? Most common name is tree of heaven. Yes, beautiful plant. I know it's so strange because it actually is a pretty attractive plant. But it's just unfortunately crazy invasive. The tree of heaven. You'll see it like if you basically drive any highway on the East Coast, you'll see the tree of heaven. It's a tree that grows in sort of the disturbed areas on the side of the highway where just the soil's been sort of dug up and they can take root easily. It's everywhere here. And there's some 80 footers that I've seen nearby. they grow all the way up to Ontario, I think, eastern Canada, and all the way down to Florida. Huge problem. Invasive species everywhere on the East Coast. It's true. It's true in a lot of places, but unfortunately, our humid, wet climate and generally mild climate can contribute to that. Sorry. The Red Sea is the warmest sea in the world. Is that really true? Warmest sea in the world. Over 30 Celsius. My gosh. That's like 80. What is 30 Celsius? It's like what, like 86 Fahrenheit, 87? That is crazy. In southern Saudi Arabia, the sea temperature can get up to 34. Oh my gosh. That's almost like a hot tub. That's yeah, I was going to say that's actually like too warm, I feel like. And if you're there in summer, because I know it can get crazy hot there in summer. That is nuts. That is nuts. Yeah, that's crazy. I like where I was in Miami. Miami obviously stays very warm. It's tropical, but the water there is actually also very warm. But it was perfect. I went there. It was like 86 and humid out. By the way, that's the hottest 86 degrees I've ever felt. 86 degrees in like New Mexico feels almost cool. In Florida, 86 degrees and humid, and the sun it was insane how hot it was there at 86 degrees. The humidity was like crazy, and I actually ended up getting a sunburn because I forgot to put sunscreen on my arms for one of the short. We actually went diving there, which was awesome. Not scuba diving, snorkeling, and it was so beautiful. We swam under the mangroves, which was just an incredible experience. The water's obviously clear as can be, and there's reefs. But the problem was I got a sunburn so bad from like 2 hours without sunscreen that my whole arms actually ended up peeling off just from the sun in Miami. It was awful. But besides that, and again, that was just a minor thing. And I didn't have a short sleeve shirt. I was with my dad. He's actually there for business, so he very kindly took me for spring break. And I didn't have any long sleeve shirts, so I actually wore one of his business shirts to Fairchild Gardens in Miami, which again, one of the most amazing botanic gardens in the world. Highly recommended if you're ever there. There's like 6 or 7 world-class botanic gardens there. Fairchild Tropical Botanic Gardens in Miami. And I was there with like a business shirt on because it was so hot out. The long sleeve shirt obviously felt really hot, but I needed something to cover my arms from the sun. It was brutal. But Miami, besides that didn't affect my experience at all. It was an amazing trip. Highly recommended. I was blown away. Miami is an amazing place. And to think that you can drive there from here. It's like just down the coast, basically. It's about a 16-hour drive, so it's a long drive. We actually had to drive back because our flight was canceled. They had like a flight crisis at that one period. So we had to drive back like 16 hours overnight and got back at 4 a.m. So that was brutal. But again, an amazing trip. Miami's so cool. When I was in Miami last spring break, so I think March, like end of March 2022. And again, it was like still winter, but it was literally, I think, still technically winter. And it was so hot in Miami. It was crazy. DC, again, it was probably like in the 60s or 70s. But it was so hot in Miami. It was crazy. Even though the average high temperature in 103 Fahrenheit because the desert doesn't feel... Yes. I've heard that too, yeah. Because Phoenix, Arizona, which is obviously a crazy hot city. It's a huge city. One of my favorites that I've ever been to. Love Phoenix, but the average high there in summer is 107 degrees in July. I think 106 in August, maybe. Literally 107 degrees in July. And then it cools down a bit because they actually get the monsoons in August and end of July. Because believe it or not, even though it's a desert, they get most of their rain in monsoon rains. So they basically get these thunderstorms that come in and just dump rain on Phoenix and the whole Southwest. But the average high there in summer is a whopping 107 degrees Fahrenheit. Easily gets to 115 there. It got to 120, I think, degrees Fahrenheit last summer. And it was so hot that there were actually royal palms. There were several royal palms that died from it. And they literally basically... It'd actually be better if it was 120 and humid, because even though that would feel worse, I don't even know if that's possible, but if to be 120 and humid, but even though that would feel worse, it would actually bring moisture to the palm. It was so dry that the palm just got fried right there, and it killed this like probably 60-foot royal palm in Phoenix. I saw a picture of it. It was tragic, but it gets so hot there. But again, it doesn't feel as bad as Miami to humans because of the low humidity. But yeah, it's definitely true. Miami is crazy. I've been in Miami in July, 34 Celsius with 8%. 34 Celsius, I don't know what that is, but that sounds crazy. That's probably at least 90-something. That is nuts. Yes, yeah, I bet it must, to you, it must have been crazy because you obviously have low humidity in the UK, and obviously you guys can get hot weather, but it must have felt like that day last summer in London where it got to 105. It's just, yeah, Miami's frequently like that in summer. I think the average in summer is about the same as us. The average in summer, the high is the same as us, but the lows are much higher, so it stays a lot warmer. But yeah, what did you think of Miami, Cal? I'm curious to know as a person, someone from out of the country, what you thought of Miami, because I think Miami, it's like LA. You know, people have very polarized opinions of Miami. They either love it or hate it. I don't think anyone really thinks it's okay. I think people either love it or hate it. I personally love it. I love LA too. Miami, you know, it's obviously got sort of like that party scene like Los Angeles. I'm not big into that, but I'm more into the palms obviously, and the beaches, the beautiful weather, beautiful weather most of the year, like in winter. And I don't really mind the high humidity. Again, I'd rather have that than, you know, crazy cold weather. But yeah, the gardens there, the nature is incredible. You know, obviously wild palms, wild, you know, mangroves, etc. So I love Miami, but I want to know your thoughts. I'm actually curious to know. But yeah, I know it gets crazy hot there. Hey there, I'm from southeastern corner of Michigan. Oh my gosh, Donnie, I don't know if you're the one, but someone posted on Palm Talk that they were in southeastern Michigan and had some palms. I don't know if that was you, but that is really cool. No heat source. That is amazing. Yes, Michigan has some mild places, believe it or not. I bet you can grow, yeah, needle palms and sable minor with very minor protection there. That is awesome. Love it. Pushing the zone. Love it. The hottest place on earth for feel is Jizan, Saudi Arabia. It's a non-desert, humid part that it has an average summer feel like, oh my gosh, 51 Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but that sounds brutal. That is crazy. Yeah, here in the U.S., there's places that are even hotter than Phoenix. Some of the deserts in California, in like the inland area. Again, California, there's parts of California, even in Southern California, that don't, it's like the Scilly Isles. They average like 60 something in summer. But then you drive inland like 2 hours and it's like 110 average in summer. So it's just the crazy contrasts out in California. But that's some of the hottest places on earth. Actually, sorry, the hottest place on earth is Death Valley in California, which is, it's cooler in winter a little bit, but it gets to 130. The hottest temperature ever measured on earth was in Death Valley, California, 134 degrees Fahrenheit. Absolutely brutal. And I think that was 1916 or something. Probably gonna be broken very soon, I bet. Miami's a nice place, but really expensive. Miami is expensive, no doubt. Yes. Miami's becoming crazy expensive. It's like LA, you know, just in price. It is beautiful though. I love it. Oh, Donnie, that's you. Okay, awesome. Yes, your palms look great, and I'm glad to hear that. That is awesome. Miami's probably my favorite city in the USA. The place in the USA I wouldn't mind moving to. You also have all the theme parks and water parks not far away. Yes. Beautiful. The Keys also, the Florida Keys are stunning. I don't know if you've been there ever. Yes, no. I'd either live, if I could live anywhere and cost wasn't an issue, I'd either live in Miami in South Florida or probably in the Southwest. I love the deserts. Like the Southwest is cool. Hawaii's cool, but I probably would want to, I don't know if I want to be on an island. I like being on the mainland. You know, I like the Southwest is just amazing. That's another place I recommend visiting. Miami, I have a huge Southern Magnet mags too. Oh, that's awesome. Yes, I have no doubt Southern Magnolia do well up in Michigan. That's awesome. In a mild climate. Because I have videos of them in Columbus, Ohio, which probably isn't too much warmer than you. So that's really cool. Off topic, but I kind of find it crazy that Michigan itself is slightly bigger than the UK. Is that true? Is Michigan bigger than the UK? That's crazy. Does that include water or not? Because Michigan, if you include the water, because Michigan borders 4 of the Great Lakes, Michigan is a lot bigger. But if you just include land, it's smaller. But it is a big state. It stretches 2 different parts of it, the Upper Peninsula and Lower Peninsula. It's a big state. And some beautiful places. Sleeping Bear Dunes in Michigan. I've never been there, but it looks really beautiful. Jizan, Saudi Arabia, it feels like 124. Oh my gosh, 124. That is brutal. That is, yeah, I can't imagine that. I have a friend who went to Death Valley in summer, and he said it was so hot that you don't actually sweat. Basically, your sweat evaporates instantly. And he said as soon as you get in the car, you start sweating because it cools down. It's so hot that you don't even sweat. Your sweat evaporates instantly. Maybe you do sweat, but it evaporates instantly. Absolutely nuts. That's what the dry heat does. I just went to Bartoldi Park. The Sable Miner was tremendously... Oh, you went there? The sound of moving the fronds on the thing was sounded like plastic. It was amazing. Oh my gosh, yes, the palms in Bartholdi Park, they're naturalized everywhere. Seedling, I mean, literally probably thousands of seedlings there. And the sable palm there, I think, is actually a sable Louisiana, which is, a variety of sable minor, but it is nuts. It's a huge, huge palm. Apparently, they used to have a sable urasana there that actually survived for a number of years. Sable urasana is the Sonoran palmetto, which is native to Sonora, Mexico, near Arizona. And apparently actually survived for a few years there, but I don't think it's there anymore. Probably died in 2014 or something like that. Yes, the naturalized seedlings there are crazy. Michigan, though, kind of looks like the same throughout the whole state with slight difference, but here in the UK, there's a massive difference between the North and South. Yeah, I mean, I think it depends where you go. Like, if you look up Isle Royale, Michigan versus, like, Detroit versus, like... See, the thing about Michigan is, yeah, obviously a lot of the forests are pretty similar, but if you go north enough, it's sort of like Canada, a lot of boreal forest. I mean, the north of Michigan actually is boreal forest. It's cold cold as can be up in North Michigan in winter, and it's all conifers, all, spruce fir. It looks like the West kind of, all conifers. And then as you go south, sort of the upper peninsula is the northern tip of the upper peninsula of Michigan is still boreal forest, but as you go south, it becomes deciduous forest, mixed boreal deciduous, and then as you go to the very south of Michigan, it's basically all deciduous. But look up look up Sleeping Bear Dunes, look up Isle Royale, and look up I think it's called Pictured Rocks or something, National Lakeshore in Michigan. There's some very, very beautiful places there. There's actually a waterfall that goes off a cliff into the Great Lakes, and some crazy clear water there. If you guys are talking about clear water, I mean, there is some crazy, crazy clear water in Michigan. It's kind of what you don't expect. It's like Ontario, because Ontario borders Michigan. Some of the beaches on the Great Lakes, despite the fact that they're colder than anywhere in the UK, they're freezing. But in summer, they're obviously very warm. They're actually crazy clear, like the Caribbean. So there's some Torch Lake, Michigan, also crazy clear. I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent about Michigan, but yes, Torch Lake. Thank you, Cincy Tropics. That's the one. Yeah, exactly. Torch Lake is stunning. Torch Lake literally looks like the Caribbean. It's hard to believe. I'm actually in the Irish Hills, Rolling Hills. Oh, wow. Irish Hills, I've never heard of that, but that's very cool. Imagine you were in Miami in June, 10 minutes in your sun. Yeah, Max, no, you won't last very long. Anyone won't last very long there in the sun, especially myself. I have pretty fair skin, as you can see. My hands, and my skin anyways. What am I trying to say? All of my skin gets burnt pretty easily. I wouldn't last at all. Even in Mexico in winter, I actually got sunburnt there. Obviously, it's not crazy hot there, but it was like 70. And I actually got sunburnt, despite the fact that I had sunscreen on. Yes, but UK is crazy diverse ecosystems, which is really cool, including like almost, Mediterranean and stuff like that. Yes, Upper and Lower Peninsula, exactly, including accent. Interesting. Yeah, I'm guessing the Upper Peninsula maybe has a more Wisconsin accent. I don't know. You let me know. Torch Lake, Michigan. I know there are different, but I'd say not as much as here. Yeah. Northern Scotland, you will struggle to grow tricarpus, whilst here you can grow. Yeah, that kind of shocks me, considering how small the UK is, generally speaking, how diverse the not only the ecosystems are, but how much it differs between north and south. Like, yeah, I heard that, yeah, even trackies can struggle up there, but I mean, yeah, you can literally grow queen and king palms in the south, kentia palms, etc. Kind of blows me away. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, that's nuts. I know. Yeah, I mean, Michigan's got some beautiful beaches, though. It looks really incredible. I would love to go there in summer at some point to see it. I've been to Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, Illinois. Never been to Michigan, so I'd love to see. I've been to Detroit Airport, but that's it. That does not count. In my opinion, you have to actually be there to go there. I was not actually anywhere besides the airport. What was I trying to say? The UK is sort of, I mean, it's almost like, not the same, but it's similar in some ways to Hawaii. Because, Hawaii is obviously, they have snow at the top of the mountains there. And then obviously in the sea level, it's, tropical, warm, 70 plus degrees year round. So you can basically pick any climate you want and find it in Hawaii. The mountains create a rain shadow effect whereby you basically have desert on parts of the island, and then you have, obviously one of the wettest places on earth on the other side of the island, and then you've got snow, you've got temperate forests. There's redwood groves in Hawaii, which probably would do terribly along the coast in the crazy humidity, but they do great up, in the mountains. And it's just, Hawaii's just crazy diverse. So the UK is a little bit like that. Yeah, you definitely got crazy diversity in ecosystems there, which is pretty cool. I don't know why I can wear no sunscreen in Egypt or Miami in the summer and never get sunburn on my arms, but my neck will get sunburnt. Yes, it's funny you say that. Yeah, it is interesting. There's certain parts that just get sunburned. It's interesting. Like my chin and other parts of my face never get sunburned. Like just below my eyes, that's whatever that skin is called, just below your eyes. Like basically, and then my nose, sort of the nose bridge, that gets sunburned like crazy. So unfortunately, it's problems. You got to deal with that when going to the beach. But I always go to the beach in New Jersey, which is not, I wouldn't say it's an exceedingly beautiful beach, but it's where my family is. And it feels great in summer because it's like so humid where we are, because we're inland. That's the problem. DC's inland, so we're a little cooler in winter, which obviously means a little bit less we can grow here, but we're also hotter in summer. In New Jersey, it's like in the 80s, which compared to us is a lot warmer. A lot cooler. So it actually feels nicer. It's like a good 5 to 10 degrees cooler by the Jersey Shore, so it actually feels great in summer. And I just wanted to show you guys this. Aren't these needle palms beautiful? Look at these fronds, just gorgeous, gorgeous frond. Needle palms obviously do well in the UK, I'm assuming. Cal, I have a question for you, because you were saying the trackies struggle up in the north of the UK. Are needle palms growable? Because obviously, despite the fact that they're hardier, they prefer the hot, humid summers more than trackies. So I'm wondering, do you think a needle palm will survive up in the very north of Scotland? Or is it too cool for them there? Or the summer's too cool for them there? Because I know the average highs in summer are very, very cool in northern Scotland. So I'm curious about that. Needle palms up there. Obviously, their growth rate's going to be much slower. Here they grow very, much faster, obviously. The cool thing is that we can drive to a lot of places from DC. We can drive north to New York City about 4 hours, Virginia Beach is about 3 hours, and then again, you drive far enough, you can go all the way to Florida. I think Jacksonville, Florida, which is probably the closest major city, about 10 hours from here. So, in not too long, you can be in a pretty warm place, which is pretty cool. Jacksonville, Florida, again, averages almost 70-degree highs in winter, but the problem is that it's just cool enough in. The lows can be just cold enough, and then you get those freezes that you can't grow coconuts in Jacksonville. But there are some, obviously, king palms, some royal palms, some other cool palms. And that's up near Georgia, so that's North Florida. But again, it's a 10-hour drive. I'm not saying that's close, but for the U.S., that isn't actually that bad. It's basically, think about it this way. It's the same distance from here to Jacksonville as from here to Toronto, Ontario. 10-hour drive to Toronto and 10-hour drive to Jacksonville. So, I don't consider that too bad. What beach in New Jersey? So my family's in Asbury Park, so I go to the beach in Allenhurst, New Jersey. Allenhurst, Asbury Parks are the beaches that I go to. And then I've also been up to Cape, what's it called? Sandy Hook, the Cape up near New York City, which is beautiful. There's a wild eastern prickly pear cacti growing there, which really surprised me when I first saw it. But really, really beautiful place. That's a beautiful place. Really? Yes, I've heard that there are some sable minor needle palms, and someone on Facebook actually posted a picture of some trackies there too. So, yes, that's really cool. I know there's a huge one at a church in Cape May, huge needle palm. The average summer high in Lerwick, Scotland, 60. That's crazy. Yes. That is very, very, very cool. I honestly wonder if a needle palm will grow there. I bet it'll struggle a bit. But again, it's mild there. It's not like it gets crazy cold there, but it never gets crazy hot there. So. I really wonder. I think it honestly is one of the few places where you got a climate that's better for needle palms than trackies. I mean, obviously, sorry, Florida is obviously a better climate for needle palms than trackies. Trackies look terrible in Florida. They look terrible even in places like Virginia Beach if they're right on the water, like with the salt spray. I mean, I think humidity is an issue there, but it's not as humid as Florida for as long. Whereas needle palms obviously grow great, probably into Miami down there. Yeah, Cape May is nice and mild because it sticks out into the Atlantic a bit. So that's really cool. Cape May is actually the same latitude as DC, I think. The average summer high, I don't think needles would like that. No, definitely not. Needles love that heat and humidity. Again, they still grow great in the UK, in warm places like the South, but they need that heat and humidity to really thrive, or otherwise really mild winters. I think that is too cool for needle palms, but I would love to see one tried there. I think it's the kind of thing. It's kind of like growing a washi in Seattle or Vancouver. It'll grow for a number of years, and then I think it'll eventually just die out. I mean, someone posted a picture of like a 20-foot washi unprotected in Seattle, and then the Arctic blast hit and it killed it. So I think it's probably going to be similar with needle palms there. Although unlike there, obviously they don't really get Arctic blast there as much. But I think eventually it'll just end up dying. But who knows? I would love to see a needle palm trialed there. But obviously we do have a great climate for them here. Steamy, humid summers. Yeah, we're 30 degrees warmer than them in Fahrenheit than that town in Scotland, Lerwick. So that just gives you a reference. 60 degrees north. That's crazy. That is actually nuts how far north it is. 60 degrees north. Yeah, that just blows me away. We're 39 degrees north here. So we're probably like maybe a little more than that here because I drove north a bit to get here. But yeah, I get 39 point something. Pretty crazy. Look at this beautiful frond though. I mean, look at this. This is like easily a 4-foot petiole. Look at this thing. Huge petioles. Beautiful palms. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna have to end it soon. My hands are kind of just slowly freezing out here. Again, it's like not too bad out, 40, 48, 49 Fahrenheit, but a bit cold. That's our native, this is one of the pines that's more common in the area, the native Virginia pine, Pinus virginiana. And then there's a loblolly pine through there, which with that nice rounded top, you guys can see. It's great to have you guys on here, though. It's really fun. Always great to have you guys on here. 1 hour late. Insect Wildlife. Hey, no problem, Insect Wildlife. I was just going to wrap things up, but I'll stick on for a little longer. It's great to have you on here, as always. No problem. I try to let you guys know ahead of time when I live stream. Sometimes I'm kind of bad about that. And I try to be on time as well, obviously. Oh, they got like a lights display here. Maybe they might have a holiday lights going on here. I don't know. I mean, obviously, sorry, we're way past the holidays, but... sorry. Yucca here, Yucca filamentosa, variegated, very nice. That's the loblolly pine, by the way. It's got those, sort of large needles and big rounded, and then the Virginia pine is very scrubby. It's got that look, so you can clearly see the difference between the two right there. Much bigger needles on the loblolly pine on the right. Both native to the DC area. This is the Virginia pine, very scraggly and scrubby. It almost looks like a deciduous tree. There's like so few needles on it, but that's actually just how it looks. Tons of cones, very few needles. But a beautiful tree, beautiful bark too. And it sort of grows in the pine barrens, which there are a few up here. Asbury, most mild, most mid-beach, along with Long Branch, tip from a local, best beaches. Yeah, I would love to see those beaches. Obviously my family's in Asbury, so obviously that's where we go. But to be honest, it's pretty nice. I like Asbury, the town, Asbury Park, New Jersey. It's where Bruce Springsteen is from. I love it. It's a beautiful town. And the Jersey Shore, there's just something about it. It is pretty nice. But no, I know what you mean. It is very mid also in its location. It's right in the midpoint of the New Jersey Shore, sort of, or in the midpoint of New Jersey, I guess, if you're sort of just looking at latitude. So very mid in its positioning as well. But no, I know what you mean. It is, it's true. Great stream. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I appreciate all you guys joining in. It was really awesome. And yeah, I'll just maybe stick around for a few more minutes and then end it. I do want to go home. There's a great, like Pan-Asian supermarket near here, which they have lots of great things. Do you guys like lychee, by the way? This is how my brain works. I just sort of wander onto random subjects, but there was a great supermarket near here that maybe I'll stop at. That's what I always think about when I drive by here. Do you guys like lychee, by the way? Because they sell lychee there, which I absolutely love. I know maybe some of you guys haven't had it. I don't know if in the UK, do they import, I'm sure there's lychees in some of the grocery stores there, but it's probably a long ways away to where you can grow them. Although I wonder if you can grow lychee in the UK. Because there's lychee farms in San Diego, California, which obviously, I don't know, it's not a cold climate, but it's coolish. I don't know, it's not really coolish. You can grow coconuts there, but I wonder, could you grow a lychee in the UK? But there are lychees grown in California and probably in Florida, somewhere south too. And in the supermarket here, they have lychees for sale, which I absolutely love. And I can like see my breath barely. Actually, no, I can't. Never mind. But they sell lychees here, so I may get some. I love lychees. Love those. But yeah, you can get it in the grocery stores in the UK. You can. Okay, got it. That's cool. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. Do you like them, Cal? Have you had them? Because I think they're pretty good. I absolutely love them. The juice from the lychee juice, one of the most delicious juices of all the fruit juices. Love it. Love lychees. And if I lived in California or some warm climate, I would definitely plant a lychee. I would not be surprised. I wonder if you could grow a lychee in... actually, I don't know. I mean, it is a tropical fruit, but... God, I wonder if you could grow in the UK. I'm actually very curious to know. I think it might be too cold because, again, obviously San Diego is very, very mild and warm too, to a certain degree. But yeah, interesting. Anyways, guys, just wanted to share that with you. Let me wander through the needle palms just one more time, and then we will cut it off here. But beautiful. Trying to step on any fronds here. Love it. So you got those 3 little ones there, and I don't know who. It's interesting that all the botanic gardens here, I think like everyone I've been to actually has a needle palm, which is pretty cool. At least one. This one has 6 needle palms, including this monster here. So I'm about 6 feet tall. I go up to about there on it. It's probably at least an 8-foot needle palm. Look at the size of this top frond. I mean, look at that crazy big frond. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful needle palm. Never heard of them growing here, but I'm not sure. Lime, oranges, and tangerines and lemons do well here. That's crazy. Yeah, there's tons of citrus that I've seen pictures of in the UK. And again, I always say it, but it is true. It just blows me away what grows there. The climate is so mild, so far north of us. I really wish we could grow I wish we could grow so much of the stuff you guys can grow. But we can still grow some cool stuff. And again, the one good thing is that our growth rates here are decently fast because of our summers. Like, what's it called? There even are a few sable palmetto in the area that have managed to hang on, and they grow really fast here too because they love the hot, humid summers. So that's the one good thing. Not the one good thing. It's also good that we can grow these palms in the first place. They are beautiful. So just want to share that with you folks. But Jesse Harris, thank you for joining in. Awesome. Yeah. No, I mean there's some cool plants here, and this is a Acer grusium paper bark. Oh, this is a maple. What do you know? I've never heard of this paper bark maple. Looks like a birch, kind of beautiful species. See, this is what I think. I think if a deciduous tree, I'm not as much of a fan of them, but I think for deciduous trees, for me to like them, they usually have to have nice bark. Like this is a deciduous tree, but it's got beautiful bark on it, so I really like it. But again, a lot of our native deciduous trees are just very bland, unfortunately. No offense to them, but I'm not as much of a fan of them. I like the pawpaw. That's a very cool native species. That's actually the rest of its family tropical, so it's almost like a native tropical species, but it's pretty cool. Can you grow passion fruit in DC? That grows here. Passion fruit, I have no idea. I don't think we can, but I've definitely seen some in like the Carolinas and into Virginia Beach, but I don't know if there are any passion fruit here. I know it grows in San Francisco also. Yes. I'm sure San Francisco is really mild. There actually are some 20-foot royal palms in the Bay Area, inland a bit. But again, it's kind of like the UK in that, actually, it's more so because you got all the mountains and stuff, that you got these crazy diverse microclimates. It can be 65 degrees in San Francisco, and then you drive inland about 30 minutes, and it's 110 degrees Fahrenheit. That's how much of a difference it is. It's crazy diverse because the mountains block out the fog along the coast. So that's why the redwoods stay on the coast. And then you go inland and it's dry, it's arid, it's treeless basically. And then that's where all the orchards are. Like you go inland a little bit and you get to like the Mediterranean climate where you have all the wine that's grown in the U.S. is grown there, Napa Valley. And then you go further inland and you get to just this crazy hot Central Valley, which is where basically all the food in the U.S. is grown. It's mild, it's warm, and it's crazy hot in summer. Do prickly pears grow from seed easily? I don't know actually, because I know the pears they produce. I've never actually eaten them. I really want to try them, but they have tons of seeds in them. I have no idea how easy they are to germinate. My recommendation though is if you can find a prickly pear, just take off one of the pads, and literally you can just like snap off one of the pads, plant it in the ground, and it will grow very easily. You don't even have to like put it in the soil or anything. I mean, you can just literally stick it, just like dig a little hole, stick the thing right in the ground, facing upwards, and it'll grow. That's how I grew all mine. You know, my prickly pear, my eastern prickly pear started from one pad that I took from a local patch, and it's got probably, 8 or 9 pads on it now at least. So that just goes to show, they are, they're very, very easy to propagate. So I highly recommend that. Speeds the process up a lot, but I don't know about growing them from seed very much. Dragon fruit also grows here. That's amazing. That's crazy. That must be a tropical fruit as well. That's crazy. Amazing. All right, guys. I think I'm going to end the live stream. It was great to have you guys all in here. I'm just going to head home now, probably. Got to get ready for tomorrow, but it was great having you guys in here, and I'm going to probably take a video of these palms as well afterwards to post soon. But also stay tuned because I did my Northern Virginia palm tour yesterday. The much discussed Northern Virginia palm tour, which which I'm very excited about. So I will be posting shortly different videos from there. Some big trackies, some sables, some, other palms, etc. And, very excited about that. So, stay tuned and, take care, folks. Hope you all are doing well. And, I really appreciate all you guys joining in. You guys make the live stream so much fun. It's always great to have you guys in here. So much fun. And this is, it was a cool location to film from. I've never done a live stream from here before. So I'm going to try to do more from different parts around the city, get some more videos in, and, I like showing you guys all my different videos of the different palms, but I think actually being there and showing you guys, the palms in real time is pretty fun, and I love talking to you guys as always. So stay tuned, take care, and have a good one, folks. Thanks for joining in.